Sulphur mines were a very dramatic moment in the history of Sicily, when children were also forced to work inside these holes, where sometimes an explosion killed the poor Sicilians. There are several scattered on the island, and today represent a fascinating tourist itinerary. The communal washrooms are also scattered in different villages of the island, and still some Sicilian, young and old, use them, as here in the beautiful village of Itala, eastern Sicily. These are the ruins of Morgandina, 5th century before Christ, in the center of Sicily. There is the whole city, with also a theater, and in a house we can still see on the front door the welcome greeting, or Aixei. This is the fabulous fresco of the Triumph of Death, visible today at Palazzo Batellis, and detached from the courtyard of Palazzo Sclafani, also in Palermo, unknown author and date, but it should have been painted around 1440. You could spend a day looking at it in ecstasy. In this enchanted garden, Death on horseback breaks out, both skeletal. It launches its deadly arrows that target men and women of all social backgrounds. Wonderful artistic masterpiece to visit at the Palazzo Batellis in Palermo. We are in the center of Sicily, and this is the monumental Gran Fonte fountain in Leonforte, built in 1651. It has 24 large bore from which water flows, and 22 small windows that open into a panorama made of endless expanses of wheat. It was both a watering hole and a sink. This is the Santa Domenica Cuba on the banks of the Alcantara River, eastern Sicily, in the midst of the renewed vines of the area. In the middle of nowhere, there is this extraordinary masterpiece essentially made of lava stone and datable, according to some, to the 6th century AD, according to others, to the 10th century AD. The interior must have been full of frescoes. In the center, above the entrance door, there was a double lancet window. There is a beautiful dome typical of these Latin cross churches. This is a 94-year-old woman who picks up carobs, a tree symbol of Sicily. Once they used to give it to the mules, but in wartime they also became food for humans. This lady told us that she's been picking them up since she was a child and has eaten many in her life. Maybe carobs are an elixir of longevity. Our crew made a report in Castelluccio di Noto, a place that combines landscape and history, like always here in Sicily. And since in Castelluccio there is a necropolis and a prehistoric village and a medieval castle, there are also traces of huts and this monumental tomb called the Prince, with 4 fake pillars. And along with the report, our President Giovanni Vallone also had a picnic on the spot.